I'm Em.
And I'm Liv, and we're your Meta PsycKicks.
So, we're talking about astrology today, and I want to clarify that this is going to be very much the basics because I wrote way too much and now I'm stressed.
Is it astrology or astrology?
What? So if you don't know, we're psychic mediums and we like to do this weird thing called Psychic Chicken where one of us does all of the research of some weird spiritual topic and the other person knows nothing. Liv is the one that knows nothing and I did way too much research. So, Liv's gonna write things down and potentially tell you about astrology before I tell you about astrology.
Okay.
What?
Laughs nervously.
You're like, oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's like a man on my left-hand side. He's like chubbier. He has like tan or brown skin, and he's very happy. But I feel like he might have been an astronomer or astrologer. Probably both. He goes like this, which is both for me. I just asked him, I was like, can you tell me things about stuff? And he like put his hands up really funny and was like, there's so many things that people believe now, and it was so much like more black and white when he was alive.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, we had so many rules. He's like, and then this is what you guys did with the rule book. And I really like that because it's funny. This is really cute. You threw everything out the window. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, there's people that think there are 13 zodiac signs. However, people just are funny because they're like, maybe they didn't align them correctly. And the source that I found was like, no. Why would you think that?
He says the New Age movement is different than how it used to be.
No.
He said everything used to be much more mathematical.
Oh, yeah.
And less whimsical.
Interesting. What is the whimsical part of it?
Well, he says it's funny because nowadays people like guffaw at astrology. They laugh at it. They laugh at it because they think it's a whole bunch of like whimsical feelings and emotions, metaphysical, spiritual, like silly stuff. And he goes, before you had to know how to do math to do it. And a lot of people did not know how to do math. He's like, so it's really like tarnished the idea of it because we were like scholars and people that tried really hard and had like our own science to it.
Yep.
And now it's something that's not seen as that. He's like, so it's kind of a little disappointing. And it's funny though too because he knows I'm really bad at math. Is there like a big ground monster in astrology?
No.
Oh,
he says it's because it's associated to the planets and people are fascinated by the planets. So each one of the planets is associated to a deity. Are you talking to a deity?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like one that looks like a big lava monster man.
Is he Mars?
He says Mars has a bow and arrow.
Okay. Yeah, that is the symbol for Mars.
Is a bow and arrow?
I think so. I don't know.
Am I talking to fucking deities?
Hold on, I gotta make sure that that's a thing.
Because he showed me fire and like a bow and arrow. He's like, that's not me, that's that blowhard.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay,
yeah.
You know in Hercules when they let out the big monsters?
No, I've never watched Hercules.
How have you not watched Hercules? We're having a movie night
Because
soon.
I didn't have an attention span when I was a child. So they would turn it on and I'd be like, wowee, did you know there's toys here, you guys?
So there's this giant like deity guy that shows me he's related to like the cores of the earth.
Oh, got you. So he's an earth deity.
Mm-hmm. But he's big and he's like, burr.
Is he a deity of the mountains?
He says all of everything. He's like, the mountains are just a portion of me, of my being.
Well, I feel like the deity of earth is usually like Gaia, which is female.
What's Uranus?
Dude, I don't know. What do you mean?
Look up the deity of Uranus.
Oh, okay. I was like, what about Uranus? Uranus?
Anybody that says Uranus is just really trying...
Denying it?
They're denying it.
I mean, it is Uranus, but it's also Oranos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, son and husband of Gaia.
Hmm. Interesting.
Huh.
You shitting yourself now?
A little
so
bit.
You're talking to deities about astrology?
Talking to deities always makes me want to eat ice cream and shit myself.
It doesn't. That's a lie.
Yeah, you're right. It only makes me want to shit myself.
Yeah.
But eating ice cream would make it better.
Okay, how does the planets actually affect your personalities?
He says it depends on where they are when you are created.
Well, yeah.
Because your soul picks when it's going to come in.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're saying it's not necessarily that you pick, you just change your on the right frequency so it naturally happens.
Yes, your soul frequency is supposed to match the energy of the planets when you're born.
Yeah, they're talking about syncing things. So there's the zodiac signs of astrology, but there's also the 12 houses. The 12 houses represent kind of like the numbers on a clock. So we sync ourselves up to different times. We're syncing ourselves up to the time in which we are born based on our like genetic makeup sort of, but more in an energetic makeup.
They say that this is you when you're in heaven or spirit, and when your body drops down to earth or wherever you're going, it has to align with the planet energy.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what pulls you in.
Yeah.
From up here to down here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the planets move in a gravitational thing, so it like literally like a magnet pulls you down.
Yeah, it
That's
happens naturally.
Fucking scary, my dude.
Why? Well, it's like the reason why you can't time travel. It naturally prevents you.
That's crazy.
It naturally pulls you in at the time you're supposed to be born. So, that's what he said.
It's like magnets.
And it's interesting because being synced to things is part of the research that I had. Because the houses don't determine what you do. They just are like the times on a clock. You sync yourself up with the time on the clock. So, for example, in the morning, you're most likely to wake up. At 5 o'clock, you're most likely to leave your job and go home. At 8 p.m., you're going to like start watching cartoons, you know? You sync yourself up with time. You're syncing yourself up with the houses because each house has a different thing that is supposed to happen, but it's not forcing you to happen. It's just you're generally going to want to do it because it feels like you're supposed to.
It's your celestial circadian rhythm.
Yeah. It's like the time on the clock. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what I wrote down. It's a lot. This is gonna be a lot. So, astrology. Here's the definition. Astrology is a type of divination that involves the forecasting of earthly and human events through the observation and interpretation of the fixed stars, the sun, the moon, and the planets.
So
That's
when people
definition.
say, and we tell you that you can do divination with anything, you could do it as big as with like household objects, which I guess is small, or as big as planets, I guess. Hang on, let me use the sun.
So basically what, I don't know the correct term of what these people are. I guess astrologers. I don't know if they were astrologers back then. However, many different early astrologers, they believed that the celestial bodies in the sky were able to manipulate different aspects of yourself and your life. And the way in which this happens is it's based upon the earth and where you are at on the earth. So a lot of people talk about your natal chart, your birth chart. They also call them like horoscopes, which the word horoscope has changed since it was originally created as a word, but horoscope was supposed to embody your birth chart. And basically what happens is the solar system, it like revolves around the sun. However, in astrology matters, it's like everything revolves around the earth or it revolves around you. So to calculate your birth chart, the way in which that happens is you need to know the location in which you were at and the time, because the location is going to determine where all of the planets are in degree of where you were born, created, whatever. So that is how each one of these planets are going to affect you. And they also take into account that the sun and the moon are planets, as well as Pluto, because I know it's not a planet anymore.
It is a planet, fight me.
It's still a big celestial body in the sky that is affecting different aspects of you. So there's the planets, including the sun and moon, but there is also the 12 zodiac signs, and then there are also the 12 houses, and each one of those different things determine different aspects about you. So that is the overall consensus of what astrology is. Let me get into the details.
Laugh nervously.
like
the man says that it's not that the celestial bodies manipulate you, it's more like a passive pull, again, like magnets. Because he's like, saying it that way gives people the interpretation that like these deities are like punching you into existence. It's not like that.
Yeah, no, it's like being on a clock. You are syncing with the rhythms or frequencies that you're surrounded by. So again, for example, at certain times of the day, you are compelled to do certain things. So at 5 o'clock, you leave work.
At 5 o'clock, I do the funky chicken.
At 6:30, you eat dinner. You do certain things based upon your like biological clock. You are more conditioned to do certain things, but you're not forced to do them. So that is the overall consensus. But you told me that astrology determines aspects of you because we come from the stars.
Yeah, which is really cute. I'm gonna stand by that.
I mean, I still stand. I tell people about it.
That's the
and they're like,
physical
wow, I never
aspect
thought
of
about
it,
it like that. Well, yeah. I mean, physical and spiritual aren't two different things.
Yeah, they're one and the same.
So.
But I like it.
Well, yeah.
That's like the physical reason of why we manifest the way we do, like physically. But besides genetics and all that other stuff, because that's valid too. But your soul is the other part that you don't see, and it makes me happy. I really said something like that.
Don't you remember?
Vaguely. I mean, even if I don't, I like it. I'm gonna coin it.
Each one of the planets represents an energetic part of your being or a component of life. And then the position of each planet in the heavens indicates the style in which the planet's component is manifested. So planets are going to orbit around you in some sort of sense, and that is going to determine what house it's in. The house is going to determine how the planet is going to affect you, all of these different things. As far back as ancient Babylonian, astrologers divided the heavens into 12 sections of different styles or archetypes, and that's the 12 zodiac signs. So that had been noted that there are 12 signs for the zodiac. Basic astrology takes these 4 things into account, which I keep saying: the planets, the zodiac signs, the houses, and the aspects. So basically how your birth chart works is you have like 2 rings, and they're split. It's like you have a pie and it's split into 12 parts.
I love pie.
But there's 2 different rings. So the outside ring is split into 12 parts, and that's the houses, or it can be the zodiac signs, because those are the 2 rings. So you have an outside ring of the houses and an inside ring of the zodiac signs.
Okay.
So the planets are going to rotate in these 12 sections of the pie in order to be determined by either the zodiac sign or the house. However, the houses are, like, the placement of the houses is usually different than where the placement of the zodiac signs are. So like they like do this because they're calculated in different manners. So they can line up, however when they line up it's fairly rare.
Sounds like a planetarium.
So like I said, each one of the planets is orbiting around you, and each one of the planets are going to take a different amount of time. So a lot of people will know or understand when, like, what zodiac sign the sun will be in, because it's exactly what we believe our zodiac sign right now is, because we calculate our zodiac sign by our sun sign. So the sun will transition into each sign within about a month's time, whereas the moon specifically will do it within a month. So the moon's cycle is a lot faster than the sun is, and that's actually where we get the word month. It's from moon.
That's cute. What's your sun sign?
What's my sun sign?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm an Aries.
And just people haven't seen it.
Oh.
No one really watched our Zodiac video. I don't think anybody listened to our Zodiac podcast because that was like episode 2 of all of our things.
I'm like, did you forget?
No.
Do I have to remind you?
So
I don't ooze that out.
And then what's your moon sign?
A Virgo.
And then what's the other one?
Rising's Leo.
Yeah. So my sun is Leo, my moon is Aries, and my rising is Sagittarius.
That would be a Sagittarius response. So each one of the sections of the pie are called cusp. And what we're talking about rising signs. So that's the only one that we haven't explained yet. The rising sign is associated to your first house. It is the ascendant, the cusp of the first house. The zodiac sign that falls on the ascendant is called the rising sign. The rising sign is very important and acts as the filter through the rest of your chart is sifted. The planet that rules the rising sign is considered to be the chart ruler. So your rising sign is basically, if you're looking at your birth chart, the first house, it will be like slightly to the left of it, I believe. Sorry if this is wrong, I'm not an astrologer. I can't read birth charts, I just know what my rising sign is. But that's going to be on the cusp, or this separation between the last house and the first house. Because your first house represents the house of self, it is who you are. So that is why it's your chart ruler, because all of the other different aspects are going to be filtered by the who you are, because it is who you are through the journey of the 12 houses. So that's why astrologers will say that your rising sign defines more of the who you actually are on the inside, and your sun side is more of the egotistical side of what you show other people. Does that make sense?
So I'm more of a Sagittarius internally.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the way I
when
see
you
it,
gave me Capricorn before, because if you have watched our astrology video,
I thought I was a Capricorn.
Yeah, you told me that, and you were trying to validate it, and I was like, okay, maybe you just don't show me that side of you, but
It explains a lot.
yeah, Sagittarius makes so much more sense to you, because Sagittarius are the ones that like don't want to be in the same place for so long, and every since I've met you, you're like, okay, I'm gonna move to Germany, okay, maybe Africa, oh, we should move across the country.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I also get very nervous traveling though.
I know, it's very confusing. That's probably some other trait that you
Yeah. It's because my Mars is in Libra. That's why.
Oh, you want everything to stay the same.
It just needs to be balanced.
Yeah. So, now we're going to get into the houses. So, the houses...
breaking and entering.
The houses are not energies like the elements or planets, nor do they color the expression of energy with the zodiac signs do. The houses are where the energies are most likely to manifest. So the houses are the fields of experience, but not the experience themselves.
So like if you're a Cancer, you might be... Wait, which one's the crab? A Cancer?
I'm a Cancer.
If you're a Cancer, you might just be a crab and you might be looking for your shell your entire life. You might actually not be in a shell.
No, we're talking about houses, love.
Isn't that a Cancer is a house, right?
No, a Cancer is a zodiac sign.
What are the houses then?
The first house is self. I'm talking about the houses now.
Okay.
But the houses are the... Well, read it again. The houses are where these energies are likely to manifest.
Okay.
So it's like when I was telling you, at 5 p.m. we leave work. At 6:30 we eat dinner. It's that. We sync up to the different house element aspects. Like if you were to go to an amusement park, you aren't necessarily going to ride roller coasters. However, you're most likely to because they're there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm scared of roller coasters.
Exactly. So, the order of the houses follows the developmental path of human life. So, like Liv was talking to the deity showed that the houses represent the different aspects of life. So, it's like if you read tarot, it's like the story of the Fool. It represents different paths of what you do in a human's life. The first house represents the mind, like what you have, like who you are. And then the second house is the things that you own. And the third house is like more centered around like communication, how you communicate things.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the character traits of you.
And it's the where different aspects are. The character traits are associated to the zodiac signs. So zodiac signs are the characteristics of things.
Mm-hmm.
The planets are, they're like the manifestation energy. So they're the like expressions of energy. Hold on, I wrote it in here. Remember, the houses are not energies like the elements or planets. Nor do they color the expressions of energy what zodiac signs do. The houses are where the energies manifest. So the planets are the things that's manifesting. The zodiac sign gives the characteristics of how that's going to manifest. And the where gives the idea of where it's going to affect it in your life. So for example, if you had Mars in your first house, and it was like, I don't know.
What is the first house again?
The house of self. Mars represents passion. The first house represents self. Then you have the zodiac sign, which is going to give more characteristics surrounding that. So Mars is going to represent some sort of passion surrounding self in regards to whatever zodiac sign it's in. But there's other houses, for example, like maybe the 5th house that refers to children, creativity, and the pursuit of pleasure. So this is like dating, romance, those sort of things. That's sort of like a love aspect. So if you had Mars in your 5th house, it's going to represent some sort of strong passion being associated to your romantic life.
Got it.
So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but it is like, it's 5 o'clock, it's time to go home. You don't have to go home, you can go to Target.
Or get ice cream.
Yeah. So let's get into what the houses mean. The first house is the house of self. The second house is the house of possessions, money, material objects, that sort of thing. The third house is it's communication. The 4th house is home, family, roots, parents. The 5th house is creativity, children, romance, entertainment. The 6th house is associated to health, service, work, routine. The 7th house is dealing with partners, marriages, open enemies. The 8th house is associated to sex, death, inheritance, or others' money or loss. The 9th house is associated to travel, higher education, religion, spirituality, law. The 10th house is associated to career, social position, dominant, parents. And the 11th house is associated to friendships, associations, aspirations. And the 12th house is associated to hidden matters, the unconscious, secret enemies, seclusion, those sort of things. But each one of the houses are naturally associated to one of the zodiac signs. So, for example, the first house is associated to Aries, the second house is associated to Taurus, the third house is associated to Gemini, so forth, and I still don't know what that saying is.
So on and so forth.
So on and so forth, etc.
Or yada yada yada.
So, the planets are the next section of this. And astrology is about observing the planets and where they are in conjunction to the Earth or where they are in conjunction to you.
All I care about is Pluto. Did you talk about Pluto?
I mean, Pluto is a part of astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay! I love Pluto because I had to do a research project on them when I was in like 2nd grade, maybe 3rd grade, and I was not a very good student in childhood until I got into like middle school, high school, college. So I was very proud of the sticker that I got on my 1-paragraph presentation of researching with a book on Pluto. So I have strong feelings associated towards that planet.
That's not a planet anymore. That tracks for you.
Why do you want me to hate you?
That tracks for you. So each planet symbolizes a different component of life, a different type of energy. In psychological terms, we call them needs or drives. This is the reason why you're doing things.
I need my needs!
So, Each one of the planets are associated. I usually just associate them to like a saying, because I use astral dice, astrology dice.
Fushigi balls. Sorry.
So these are a very brief explanation of what the planets represent. The sun is I am. It represents your ego, your inner you. The moon represents I feel. It represents your emotions. So Mercury is I think, and it's the planet of intelligence and communication. Venus is I love. It's the planet of love, pleasure, and beauty. Mars is I act. It's passion. So Mars is the exact opposite of Venus because it's masculine, but it's very much war, aggression, fucking passion. So Jupiter is I grow, and it is the planet of good luck, optimism, success, generosity. And Saturn is the planet of achievement. It's I achieve. So Saturn is associated to the principles of limitation, restrictions, boundaries, safety. Also, I'm going through my Saturn return. Thank you, who can tell me that everything's fine in the comments below, because it's fine. Uranus is I evolve. Uranus represents the unconscious urge to become aware of your true inner individuality. Neptune represents I dream, so this represents very dreamlike aspects of things that aren't necessarily possible, but, you know. So Pluto is the last one, which represents I empower. It represents the unconscious urge to transform repressed ego desire energy. So Pluto is interesting because a whole generation of people will have the same Pluto sign because Pluto takes so goddamn long to go to orbit around us.
I like that it's I empower.
Yeah, I empower.
It's the tiniest one.
The 12 zodiac signs are classified in 3 different ways. The 3 different ways are elements, qualities, and polarities. So there are different elements. They are the 4 elements: earth, air, water, fire. And
Yes.
Sorry. No. So each one of the zodiac signs are listed underneath these different elements, but understanding these 3 different aspects of zodiac signs will allow you to understand what the characteristics of that sign are without actually memorizing it or knowing it. So the 4 elements, fire signs are usually associated to people that are very energetic, enthusiastic, passionate, fiery. Earth signs are associated to people that are practical, kind of like by the book, disciplined, hardworking, dependable. Air signs are usually associated to people that are rational and understanding. I also generally view them as people that have a lot of different ideas that are associated to facts, but they also have a very interesting way of thinking in the sense that they like to
think outside the box.
Yeah. They aren't restricted like earth signs are. They're more windy, but the way in which they find grounding is through facts. And then lastly is water signs. Water signs are very emotional, sympathetic. They feel everything, imaginative, intuitive, those sort of things. So the next quality is they're called modes, and the modes are considered cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So then the signs are put into those as well. So cardinal signs are dynamic. They're very assertive. They like to move easily. They like change. I am a cardinal sign. My sun sign is Aries. Everything is fine. I'm fine. I'm just yeeting myself off of cliffs. The fixed signs... The fixed signs are usually the people that don't want to change opinions. They are kind of stay in one spot. They're most stable and self-contained. And the mutable signs are the most unstable, but are most open to influence in their environment. So mutable signs are kind of more shy, and they take in influence from around their surroundings in order to do things. And then there's 2 polarities, there's 2 polarities which refer to like male, female, positive, negative, yin, yang, that sort of thing. But each one of the zodiac signs are listed in those categories. So for example, Aries is a fire sign. It's a cardinal sign, and it's Yang, which is masculine. So each one of these is like that, and I'll do Leo. Leo is also a fire sign. It's a fixed sign, and it is also masculine. So the last section is the zodiac signs. We've already started talking about the elements and the qualities and the whatnots. What are the zodiac signs? The ancient Babylonians created the zodiac wheel by first splitting our sky into 4 sections designated by the yearly equinoxes and solstices. Each of these 4 sections of the sky were split into 3 sections measuring 30 degrees each. This gives us the full 360 zodiac cycle wheel. So again, like I said, there's one wheel that is the houses. I think that's associated to like the horizon. And then the zodiac signs are the second wheel, so they do this inside of each other. The zodiac signs is as follows. Aries. I kind of just want to tell you what I think an Aries is instead of reading this to you. So, an Aries is someone that's very passionate. They have qualities of a leader. They're very determined to do things. They have yeeteth energy. They will yeet thyself off cliff any chance they freaking get. They also like to be first, which is why they are first in the zodiacs. So Taurus. Taurus is strong-willed. It's frank, blunt. They are very stable. They are a rock that wants to stay in one place. Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. It's mutable. They are the types of people that like to know a little bit about everything so that they are prepared for every conversation that they could have. So they like to talk because they are ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. And then Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal water sign. Cancers are usually very emotional about things. However, they're more of a let's do something about it instead of let's do nothing about it. They are usually people that appear very interpersonal. However, they also just want to be alone all the time. They have lone wolf energy. Leos. Leos are fixed fire signs. Leos are usually seen as the one that is in the spotlight. They like attention. They people view them as like attention seekers. However, they're kind of like lioness. They are worried about the entire pride and doing certain aspects to support the pride. However, it's different from male to female traits, but or at least that's what I think. Virgo. Virgos are the people that try to figure out how things work in a very practical, by the book sort of manner. So people usually view Virgos as know-it-alls. Libra. Libras are the people that are like, hey guys, let's all chill out for a little bit. They're like trying to balance everything. Their sign is like the 2 scales. So they're very much like they're trying to balance both sides. Scorpio. I can always pick out a Scorpio when I read them because they have a lot of walls. They're a water sign. However, they would like to deny their emotions. They would like you not to know about their emotions. They would like to not be perceived. Sagittarians. I like how it's Sagittarians. Sagittariuses are, they like to travel. They don't really like to be in one place. They like adventure. They are interested in discovering things. Capricorns are kind of like the business people of the world. They usually find something that they like and that becomes like the thing that they do put their energy towards. So a lot of people view Capricorns as like workaholics, but people are usually afraid of Capricorns. In our Zodiac video, I think the Capricorn is the one that killed everybody.
I think so.
Because we did a murder mystery.
Go check it out. It's a very slept on video.
It's very embarrassing.
It's really good.
The next one is Aquarius. Aquaricide. Oh, that's why it says Aquarians, because they made it plural. People who are Aquarius, they are interesting because they usually deal with groups of people, so they bring people together. However, Aquarians are they have very niche things that they like and talk about. And then Pisces. Pisces are the dreamers. They're very emotionally driven. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm not a fan of Pisces, because they're very opposite of me.
I've always
but
gotten
in the same
along
way.
with Pisces. I
Yeah.
like them. They're usually very whimsical people. It depends on what their other signs are, though, too.
What's the one that's like similar to you but different? Is it Capricorn or Aquarius? I don't remember.
Aquarius.
Oh,
The asparagus are my arch nemesis, actually, not Scorpios.
Yeah.
If you're an asparagus and you send me an email reading and you give me that your sign is an asparagus, I'm gonna judge you.
And it's because Leos and Aquariuses are similar in a different way, just like Pisces and Aries are similar in a different way. It's like in a way that's annoying to each other.
Yeah.
But the zodiac signs represent different characteristics, and a lot of people like to invalidate their zodiac sign because they think they only have one, which is the sun sign. However, you have all 12, either associated to different places in which your things are, but you have each one of the 12 zodiac signs in that wheel in your birth chart.
Which is funny because I have a lot of asparagus in my birth chart.
Yeah.
So is it called the pot calling the kettle black? Yes.
I mean, I do too. I have a Pisces, Mars, and I'm an Aries. That is a slap in the face.
That's funny.
So, if you guys like astrology things, tell us what your sun sign is below. If you know your top 3, tell us down below so that we can judge your
you.
signs.
In a very fun, playful manner.
But we have other content associated to zodiac signs, and if you would like more about astrology, because there's a fucking lot, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let us know you want more astrology things down in the comments as well. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
We are your Meta PsycKicks. We don't do astrology readings. We do tarot and medium readings, so don't ask.
Yeah, I literally, if you listen to what I said, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I only did research yesterday.
Goodness.
Did you say, and we're your Meta PsycKicks?
I think so.
Okay, great. Are you sure?